Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Disney Done Differently. Well, it's been in the news, and my friends Bill and Barry over at the Airbnb Disney podcast, they've been talking about it. Hoop-de-Doo Review. They're back, and they had an amazing meal plus the show. I want to say it's one of the live shows that have been running forever since the beginning of Disney over at the Wilderness Lodge. No, not Wilderness Lodge. One of the campgrounds over there. Anyway, you take the boat from Magic Kingdom, you go around past the little trees. Anyway, Hoop-de-Doo Review. Fried chicken, right? They had its own song. But also, Polite Pig just recently put onto their menu a new chicken dish that's available, and it's sweet tea chicken. So, Disney Done Differently. What are we going to do? We're going to take a little bit of that, a little bit of this, put it together, and hey, chicken. Let's go. I got a little surprise for you at the end. Let's go. Alright, so to start, what do you need? You need chicken, right? So we got our 8 pieces. We got 2 legs, 2 thighs, 2 wings, 2 breasts. This is simple. We're going to start with about a tablespoon of garlic. It would be 2 garlic cloves. If you're doing fresh garlic, I'm using the paste. Use the paste, it's quicker, it's easier. Right? And to that, we're going to take a lemon. And we're just going to do a zest of a medium or small lemon. So we just pull these off real quick, right into the bowl. Alright, then take that lemon. You want to give it a quick roll to get all that juices to the front. And we're going to squeeze the lemon juice in. It's okay if you get the seeds in for this one, but if you can prevent it, do. I didn't, right? There's 2, 3. There you go. And then about 2.5 cups of sweet tea. Now, you can make your tea if you'd like. I bought it, right? Florida, we have tons of places that sell sweet tea. Anywhere you're located, you definitely can get your sweet tea. Arrange your chicken any way you'd like. Pour your sweet tea right over. To that, 1 bay leaf. Shove that guy in there. And then rosemary. Break it up a little bit just to get the oils out. Stuff it in there. Give your hands a quick rinse. Use your nearest Disney towel to wipe it off. And some salt. And give that a mix. You want to put this in the refrigerator minimum 4 to 6 hours. I would do it overnight if you can. Does it matter? Yes, it adds flavor. What you just basically did is created a brine for your chicken. It's going to make it juicier, but we want crispy chicken. And I'm going to show you how we do that. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to go step by step so you guys can follow along each and every step. So first is I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour in this pan. And this is the seasoning dredge that we're going to do. So to that, we're going to add black pepper. We're going to add salt. Garlic powder. Onion powder. Paprika. Thyme. Can you use fresh thyme? Of course. But I have dried thyme, so I'm going to add dried thyme. And then, optional, little cayenne pepper. When I say a little, just go around the outside so you can measure less than what you've done on the inside. It's going to just add for a little bit of heat, not a lot. Okay, now that's not 11 herbs and spices, and I'm not the colonel, so I'm just going to give that a quick mix. And that's going to be the flavor profile for the dredging of your chicken. Alright, now we're going to move on to the second part. So you're going to take this and you're just going to move it out of the way. Second part. We're going to start with 3 eggs. Okay. 2. 3. Okay, to that, you're going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And you want to really give this a good mix. Now, at this point, you're making a custard, right? Sugar and egg yolks become a custard. And just keep mixing that. And the special guy, buttermilk. Why buttermilk? It's rich, high in fat, and it's gonna cling to your chicken better than anything. So you want equal parts of your egg mixture to your buttermilk. So what do I got here? I got a quart. I used a 1/2 quart. And you're gonna give this a good mix. You can see how much thicker everything is gonna be getting. Now I'm gonna be adding this to a larger bowl. I'm going to do that right now, and I'll show you the last part. Alright, so now you're adding it to the larger bowl. Could I have started in the larger bowl? Yes, but then I want to make sure that all that sugar is incorporated and mixed very well. Again, optional, but you pick your favorite hot sauce. And a few drops of that into this part of your mixture. Alright, now for our last stage. This is different. So I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of cornstarch, okay, and 2 cups of Wonder flour. You can also use cake flour. The only difference with it that it is, it's very, very fine. And the reason that I like using Wonder flour, it's very fine, or cake flour, is it's going to stick to the chicken a lot better. Let's admit it, we want those crunchy bits, right? So we're just going to blend in the flours, cornstarch, and the Wonder flour. And after the overnight or a few hours, we have our chicken that's in the brine. Here's the thing, you're gonna grab yourself a sheet pan with a rack. You can line it with paper towels if you want, just so it doesn't drip as much. And you're gonna just pull out your pieces of chicken. You wanna get off the rosemary and the lemon zest, right? So you got that. We have the thigh. Okay, we got a leg. We got a wing, got a hoof, got a wing. Get your other wing. And you just take this and throw it out. Because you don't need that anymore. Now, I have the one that I did earlier today, and then the one that I did last evening. Will I be able to taste the difference between the one that was done last evening and the one from earlier today? Absolutely not. There's no way of telling that. As much as the brine gets in there, we'll put this guy on top of here for now. Now, what I like to do with my chicken is let it sit out like this for about a good 20 minutes. I'm going to add, this is baking soda. As you can see, I'm sprinkling it very, very, very lightly. Not a lot. If you ask how much, I can't even tell you. But what baking soda is going to do is, if you guys ever had Chinese food, tons of times, baking soda and cornstarch, that's what they use to make their chicken so crispy. But it also tenderizes the chicken. Now with the brine that we did, our chicken should be extremely tender. And that's about it. But also you want the chicken to sit out room temperature for about good 10 minutes. It's going to release the juices. That's what the baking soda is going to actually help with. It's going to just release the juices and tighten up that chicken. And that's what we want. The brine is already inside. We want it to actually just get more firm. And it's a great time to have your oil ready. So you want your oil approximately from 300 to 325 at this point. Some people like to do a double fry. I don't think it's necessary. You can tell if you're going to need a double fry. But we're going to go into the dredging. So I'm going to turn my oil on and then we'll dredge and we'll see where we are at that point. Alright, so we have our flour with our seasoning, right? We got garlic powder, cayenne, rosemary, thyme, right? We got our sugar, our eggs, our buttermilk, a little bit of hot sauce. And then we have our 3 different flours. We have cornstarch, we have our cake flour, Wondra, and all-purpose flour, all mixed up. Now, you want to keep one hand dry, one hand wet. That's the best scenario. If you're going to be doing thousands and thousands of pieces, if you're just doing 8 pieces for your family or 16 like I'm about to do, knock yourselves out, folks. Again, remember I always say, have fun with food. I'm going to start with a wing, okay? And I personally like to use a large spoon. And you just mix it right over. Right? Flip it over. Make sure you get underneath. That's why I like to use the spoon. You get into all those cracks and crevices. Give them a pat. Now we're going to go right in. Now remember, with that sugar that's in there and the buttermilk, it's extremely thick. So you don't want to let this submerge for too long. Let it drip off. And then into this beautiful thing. You could feel the difference. It's extremely light. And that's what you want at this point. Okay. And go back to that dry hand. And you can almost see it already, that you're getting that crackling effect onto the chicken. And that's what we want. Right onto the tray. We'll let that sit right there. I'll show you another one. Okay, we're going to do a leg. Alright, so we got the leg in there. Alright, we've got all the herbs and spices. Into the batter. Not too long. And right into the lightness. Right onto there. Flip it around. And you can see the cracklings that are about to happen. Can you see that? And that's a leg. I'm gonna go ahead and just go a little faster and, you know, do 2 pieces at a time. You do not have to do that. Take your time. This is the most important part, I would say. Have fun with it. But guys, I've appreciated everything that you guys have been doing. I've seen funny comments for the White Castle burgers. I've seen hysterical stuff on the pizza rolls. Have fun. Just have fun with food, right? Don't make it a big thing. Bill and Barry have spoken about the Hoop-de-Doo review. It's very possible we might be going in our trip on July. When we go in July, we might be going there for dinner one night. That'll be a new experience. I've been there, I think, twice now with my family. And a lot of good memories, a lot of fun. You know, it's out of the way, but it's definitely worth it. It's an experience. You know, why we go to Disney. So, but back to this again, and here we go. So this is the very first piece I did. It almost looks like it's not even coated, but remember, that had batter from that egg, just like all the other pieces. Now, when frying, something to remember, folks, does it have to be exact? No. But you should try to go in the same order that you did your dredging. Reasons why is stuff like this. Okay? Let's go over to the oil and let's go. Alright, oil's about 325-ish. Alright, so we're going to start. I'm going to do that first wing that I did. Right into the oil. Make sure you have enough so it's fully submerged. Give it a little push so it doesn't stick. And remember, when you add too much to the pot at one time, it brings the temperature down in the for your oil. So you want to watch what you're doing with that. So for me personally, I like to go wings and thighs together, and then breast and legs. Alright, so take a look. Look at that. That is exactly, look at the crevices inside of there. It's exactly what I was looking for. Wings always look a little crazy, but it's got the same action going on it. That's a beautiful piece of fried chicken, folks. So just pull it out, let it rest onto your, I use a grated, I like it to be elevated so excess oil can drip off. Let me just show you real quick before I go into the next one. Look at that piece of chicken. That is beautiful. You saw what we did. Let's go. Let's make a whole bunch and we'll be right back. Alright, so I showed you thighs, I showed you wings. Here comes some legs. Look at that. That is a beautiful leg. Get that guy in. The other leg. Glistening, crispy, beautiful color. Put that guy there. And then some people like, they don't like thighs or legs, and they like the breast. Oh, that breast needs about another 3 seconds. There it is. Crunchy, delicious chicken goodness. And here we are. Look at this, folks. Look at this chicken. I cannot be more happy. Look at the crunchy bits all in there. Beautiful chicken. Really came out. Look, this platter is so big that I have chicken over here that I still have to put on. I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Let's see. Grab this guy, because this is a breast. We'll put that there, I guess. And you know what? Let's see here. I'll take this guy and this guy, and we'll put it here. Move this right here, and voila! We have a beautiful dish. And remember I told you I was going to do a little surprise? Well, I went ahead and I made a little bit of cornbread, right? Simple cornbread, nothing in the mix, egg, oil, honey. Honey gives you that brown top texture. So, what else we got? So what I like to do for my cornbread, take a little bit of the butter, and like I mentioned, when you serve it to your guest, just a little touch of honey goes a long way. And this way everybody gets a little piece of that into their cornbread, their beautiful chicken. There's only one thing left to do. Let's eat. All right, so I'm gonna take that beautiful chicken, take a piece. Okay, I'm gonna cut it. You hear that? That's how crispy it is. Just give this a cut. Ooh. Okay, first of all, let's see how juicy that is. Look at that, fully cooked all the way through, crispy. Can't wait. Okay. On the clock. Whoop-de-doo. The flavor. Remember, we did the brine. Sweet tea. Right? Opened up all the flavors into that chicken. The lemon, the rosemary, garlic. Marinated that. Then in our flour, we added all those spices, right? The thyme, and we added cayenne. The egg with a little bit of sugar and the buttermilk. A little hot sauce in there. And then our 3 flours. The flour at the end is really what's giving you this crispy flakiness. I mean, folks, you're looking at a platter of chicken that every piece is crispy, crunchy, delicious. Don't forget about a little bit of cornbread, your honey with your butter, that flour at the end as I was mentioning, cornstarch, Wonder flour or cake flour, and all-purpose flour. 2 cups of each. Mix those from the egg into the fryer at 325. 4 to 5 minutes on each side. Larger pieces, of course, going to take a little bit. Always take a temperature. You want the internal temperature of 165. You have nothing to worry about. I've talked too much. I need to go eat more chicken. Bill and Barry, Airbnb Disney podcast. You're looking at the actual food correspondent for the Airbnb Disney podcast. Let me tell you, if we're going to hoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo, because this chicken is delicious. I hope you like what you saw today. Please like, subscribe, share. As always, tell your friends, from my kitchen to yours. Till next time.